what does Microsoft support for an indie game designer actually look like?
It looks different depending on what you want to take from them. So they offer you money, and then you say, okay, but what am I giving away? And then they say, yeah, creative control, but we'll let you do whatever. But that was scary for me. So I did not opt to take any money. So we did not get any funding. What it looks like as far as what they're offering. So Kevin took us under his wing and basically said, you do what you do. And I'm going to try my best to fight for your game and get you a good slot on a good week or whatever else. He oversaw development. He really stayed out of it, but for the most part, he was just checking in to see that if we were on task. And then the only thing that Microsoft did for us was they helped us with cert. So they got us a dev kit because we didn't have any money.
So the non-designers, what's cert?
Oh, certification. Like you have to like, you have to make sure your game really works on a console. Like it's not like with PC, you can have some bugs and whatever else, and then you just fix it, right? You just update it. Back in the day, it cost $4,000, upwards of $4,000. You can go higher than that to simply update your game. Like they charge you to update your game. So everything needed to be right the first time. And they had a certain, practices. You have like a certain level where it's like this needs to be bug free by this date. And it goes through certification. So it's tested repeatedly. They give you a bazillion bugs that you have to fix. You get a bunch of feedback on how the game can be improved and that you can ignore for the most part. I mean, that was fun. It was fun dealing with ESRB. They help you with that. So that's like the rating systems. In order to get on console, you need to have a rating. The cool thing about Steam, one of the many cool things about Steam, is that they don't even require you to have a rating. They don't really care at all. And ratings kind of suck, but especially when you're a weirdo like me, that I don't really put anything explicit in my games, but it walks the line of a lot of weird stuff that turns out would make everything adult in everything that I make. So I put Binding of Isaac up with no rating, anybody could play it, whatever else. Nobody said anything about it. But when the time came to put it on console and I had to tell ESRB the list of things that happened in this game, it set off every red flag possible. So you've got to go through that and give out detailed instructions on when your character farts, for how long, how audible the fart is, that sort of stuff. And then they give you a rating for it. And that was essentially it. That was essentially what Microsoft kind of did for us. They did do one focus group, which was laughably awful. They didn't say anything about the game. They were talking about my sense of humor, and it was just very odd. That's essentially what that was. I don't know if that's still like that. I don't know how much control. I think a lot of consoles will either deal with a publisher like Devolver, or if dealing with independents, if they have an established name or whatever else, they probably are going to go pretty hands off. Like, so in dealing with them after Super Meat Boy and dealing with different consoles, I basically say like, hey, I want to put this on a console. And then I talk with somebody there and they say, okay, we'll set this date. And then I say, is there any thing you can put us into promotion wise and whatever else? And you just kind of go from there. But I try not to work with publishers anymore. But you might have to. It's just a necessary evil dealing with business. Business sucks, but you have to learn some about business so you don't get totally screwed over, because they will get you. They will screw you over. So you have to know enough to not get screwed over. But yeah, that was the process back then, but that was 10 years ago. Well, no, that was 12 years ago. Jeez.
Life. It's the pandemic. No one years are hard.